It's another raw video from your favorite YouTube scout, Draftrawthentic. Yes, I'm finally here making another video, and like I said, it's a raw one, so there will be no edits. Anyway, if you already know, I'm doing my 32 for 32 draft breakdown series, where I take 32 teams for 32 days and do a draft breakdown for each and every team in the NFL for the 2018 draft. Now, I've already done the North, East, and West for both the AFC and the NFC. So now I'm in the Southern Division, and I'm doing the AFC South. And if you're seeing this video, I've already done the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Tennessee Titans, and the Houston Texans. So I'm on the last team, and that is the Indianapolis Colts. So instead of wasting your time with this long intro that's going to take about a minute, let's just get into it. With the first pick in the draft, the Colts selected Quentin Nelson. Overall, probably, I would say, the best offensive lineman, period, in this draft. Technically sound, pass blocking, run blocking. I don't need to go into it because if you're a Colts fan, you already know how good this player is. There is some inconsistency. He's not a perfect guy. He's not perfect at all. But he definitely will be a good player. Now, to say he's a future Hall of Famer, I don't know about that. But I can say this. The guy can play some ball. And I think that because of the hype, the only thing he has to do is play good. And he will be a Pro Bowler for years to come. He doesn't have to be excellent. He just has to be good. But because he was a top 10 pick, that's all he has to do. So anyway, with the second pick that they had, they chose Darius Leonard. Now, looking at it, they had 4 second-round picks. And in that first one, like I said, Darius Leonard, linebacker from South Carolina? Yeah, South Carolina. South Carolina had a pretty good squad of some linebackers. Sycamore is another really good player. At least what I thought. Very, very athletic, very fast, kind of undersized, but give you that kind of safety linebacker vibe. That's almost what I got from Darius Leonard. Just sideline to sideline guy. And I don't like comparing players to players in the NFL because you're not. I'd rather for a player to be in the NFL for me to compare him, not to be in college and then try to compare him. But I will say you're getting kind of a Telvin Smith type dude. A guy that can kind of do a lot of different things. I don't know. Well, I'm not going to say I don't know. I don't think he's as great when it comes to shedding blocks. But when it comes to everything else that you want in a linebacker, shooting gaps, and all that things, Darius Leonard is your guy. So the Colts got a really good player there. With their second round pick, they chose Braden Smith. Great pick. Braden Smith is a guy, gosh, I forgot the school he played at. I was about to say Penn State, and no, it's from Auburn. There we go. There was a guy named Brendan Mahone that played at Penn State. That's why I almost got confused, because the names are a little bit similar. But Braden Smith is a guy that played at Auburn. I just thought was a pretty aggressive, solid blocking type of offensive lineman. I didn't think he was great. I think that he was a better pass blocker than he was a run blocker, if I can recall. Let me look back at my notes. In the middle of the thing, I'm looking at my notes. But it's good for me to write these notes because that's the only how I'm going to give you good draft breakdowns is if I write notes about these guys. Yes, okay, he was a better, did I say that? He was a better pass blocker than he was a run blocker, which is kind of weird for an offensive guard. But I think that he gave you solid ability in his feet and his hands and the way he lowered his butt when it comes to pass blocking. He knows how to protect the heck out of a quarterback. When it comes to run blocking, he kind of, I remember now, he missed a couple of times. Sometimes he kind of got overzealous and, like I said, missed, or the defensive lineman was able to get off of him, or, stuff like that. So he needs to work on that. But overall, to me, if you're a good pass blocker as an offensive lineman, I think you become a better run blocker with coaching, especially if you just get in the weight room and get stronger and stuff like that. You become a better run blocker. But to become a good pass blocker is harder because there's a certain technique. There's certain ways you got to punch your hand. All that type of stuff. So overall, when it comes to Braden Smith, I think that it's a pretty solid pick for what you're getting here, especially when you need to protect Andrew Luck. So being a better pass blocker and run blocker, yeah, it does work. Anyway, with their third second-round pick, they chose Kimoki Ture, pass rushing linebacker from Rutgers. I used 2 different websites. His name never popped up on the prospect list, so I have no clue about him. And I watched over 200 prospects, 3 or 4 videos for each of those prospects. So that's 600 videos. I don't feel like watching no more prospects. I'm sorry. I just can't. So I got to skip the name. I'm sorry. Can't do it. So with their next pick, they chose Tyquan Lewis, Ohio State pass rusher, basically. The thing about Tyquan, though, is that I didn't think any of the Ohio State pass rushers were that good. So, honestly, when it comes to that pick, not a big fan of it. I will say this. He probably was the best of the other 2, though. I know people say Sam Hubbard was better, but no. I think Sam Hubbard, I think he's all hype. But I'm not going to get into him. Tyquan Lewis, I think he's probably the best, more all-around type of guy when it came down to it. I didn't like him, but I liked him more than the other 2 guys. So, y'all probably got the best of the Ohio State pass rushers. So, anyway, with the next pick, Nyheim Hines from NC State. Man, can this dude go? Darren Sproles? I mean, yeah. This dude can go. This dude can go. The reason why I said Darren Sproles is because of obviously the height, weight, speed. He reminds me of him. Now, I don't know if this dude will be a starting running back. I was a 4th-round pick, so they may not even be looking at him as a starter. But what this guy does give you is that third down ability. From what I saw, maybe not with the pass block. They use Jalen Samuels for NC State to do all of that. But when it comes to pass catching and those mismatches, you got a player here. And I don't think the Colts has that on their team. And now they have that type of player. So to me, that is a solid pick for the Indianapolis Colts. And should really be able to push this team into for them to even just get better. And to basically get another weapon for Andrew Luck. And to keeping on with getting weapons for Andrew Luck, the next pick was Darius Fountain from, I had the name of the school in my head, and I remember watching this tape, but I can't remember the school name. I'm sorry, I can't remember the school name. It was from a small school, though. He was at not the Senior Bowl, but the East-West Shrine game. Yeah, the East-West Shrine game, and he showed solid route running ability. It was him and another guy that showed really good hands and really good route running. And it kind of reminded me of the year where you had Geronimo Allison and the receiver, I forgot his name. He plays for the Tennessee Titans. And he had like his rookie season was pretty solid because he made a couple of plays. But the year that those 2 players came, it was those 2 players that came out and they went to the East-West Shrine game and they did the same thing. Look way ahead of all the other players that was there in terms of being receivers. And it reminds me of that year when it came to him. And I forgot, it was the other dude the other dude this year plays at Penn. Not Penn State, Penn. And Julian Watson was his name. So Darius Fountain, Julian Watson, those 2 guys. And it reminds me of the same year Geronimo Allison and that other guy came out. Where small school guys that just kind of really get it and become really good receivers. I'm not going to say he's going to be a great receiver, but it gives you another weapon. And this can be kind of reminiscent of what they've got with Pierre Garçon. You got a good route runner with hands that can surprisingly get down the field. So, honestly, I think they got a good, solid player here, and they may got a steal when it comes to a small school receiver that may give them more than what you think he would give you. Then with the next pick, same thing with the pass rushing linebacker, like I said earlier. Jordan Wilkins, running back from Mississippi. Didn't see his name, so I never got to watch him. Then the next pick, another weapon from Nyheim Hines. They went receiver, they went another running back, and they went receiver again with Deion Kane. I'm not a huge fan of Deion Kane because of the drops. And I think that him being a Clemson receiver, he got hyped up a lot. Now, seeing as though they picked him in the 6th round, I think it was a good, solid part to pick him at. Deion Kane, though, remind me of and I keep losing these guys' names in my head. The LSU receiver that came out last year, Malachi Dupree. There we go. He reminds me of him, of a guy that has all the athleticism in the world, has the height, the weight, the speed, but it's just like, I don't know, this doesn't click for him all the time. And I think that Deon Cain is I think he's a solid receiver, but he's not going to, I don't think he's going to be a perennial playmaker, that guy that's going to be a number 1 receiver. I don't even know if he's going to be a number 2 receiver. He may not even give you what you got from Dante Moncrief. But overall, I believe Deon Cain, is a solid pick, especially with you getting him in the 6th round. But it's also a way to get Andrew Luck more weapons, especially when you already lost a player like a Dante Moncrief, and pretty much the only big-time receiver you have is a T.Y. Hilton. So it just builds on upon that. Now with the next 2 picks, same thing with the picks I said. These are 2 linebackers, obviously 7th-round guys. They're going to be special team guys, so I can't say much about them. So I'm going to at least name their names. Matthew Adams, linebacker from Houston, and then they chose Zaire Franklin, linebacker from Syracuse. Linebackers, special team guys. Who else could say? I didn't see their tape, so I don't know how good they are going to be. But anyway, if you like this video, please hit that like button. If you want to see more draft breakdowns that I promise you will be better than this draft breakdown, and probably the whole AFC South draft breakdown, which the Titans is the only one that I actually like, that, picked some good players. Please subscribe to the channel. If you didn't like what I had to say about any of these Colts players, please comment so we can debate. Please share this video so other people can comment and they can debate and we can build this whole draft community. Once again, this is Draftrawthentic. I thank you for watching. I promise you that there's better draft breakdowns than the AFC South that I did, because I actually just doing these was kind of boring and kind of whack. But please stick with it. NFC South should definitely get better. So it is what it is. If you're following me, please look at those videos. And once again, Draftrawthentic, I thank you for watching. Goodbye.